All right, friends, it's Kate here with the Momboss Mentor, and today I have a super special guest, Teri. She is joining us. She had an amazing career as an employee. She's got 3 kids, and yet she pursued her passion and is now an entrepreneur. And I'm so excited for you to get to know her. So, Teri, you want to tell us a little bit about where you're from and a bit about your life, what you used to do, and we'll get to where you do now.
Yeah, sure. So I live in Chandler, Arizona. I'm in the US. I have 3 degrees. I have a degree in psychology, a master's in English, and I have a law degree. And I had a great career. I started in legal recruiting, and I really was able to develop my coaching skill set, and I loved helping people find jobs, seeing them go from just a candidate to getting them into their dream job. It was a fantastic experience. From there, I went to a career counselor at a law school. And then I was recruited to a top 25 law school where I ran their externship program. So I was able to develop a hybrid online course for the externship program, where we did online training and then in-person live classroom training. And then I was recruited into a position for a boutique consulting firm where we coached high-level executives, CEOs, board members of Fortune 500 companies. So it was just a dream career. It was great. I loved it. But there was just that moment that happened where my son, I came home one day from work. I was working, 60, 70, 80-hour weeks. And my son said, Mom, the only time I get to see you is when you tuck me in for bed. And that just broke my heart. I said, I have to make a change. I know I can do something where I can still be successful and provide this great role model for my kids, but also be there for them. So that was kind of the moment. The second moment.
Okay, so I just want to stop there for a second, because I think that is worth noting that, for some it's something internally, but yours was external. Like, I couldn't imagine the moment my heart would just like break in a million pieces to hear my say that. And I have to also, because some people are listening on podcasts and some are watching on YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, like, you must have done that all in like 5 years because you look so young. So
oh my gosh, it's so nice.
Okay, so that was moment number 1, was your son. What was moment number 2?
So moment number 2, there was a plethora of things, like a multitude of things that kind of led up to this. But the second thing was when I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And that was a huge moment for me. I really had to reevaluate everything that I was doing. But at that point, I had already started my business, and it really helped propel my business forward into a very, niched area. So I was able to, someone close to me said, think about how many more people you can help now. So really turning that negative into a positive, it was really impactful for me.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so 2 major milestones, I think, for anyone that's listening, because something that from a family perspective, right, balancing work with kids, like, is a struggle all to begin with, but then also, your health, and us being forced sometimes to take a pause and say, okay, what is it that I'm focusing on? So can anyone tell us what you do now?
Yeah, so I have a background in athletics. I was a college and high school athlete. I became a running coach, and I kept getting injured. So my husband suggested that I take a Pilates class. And I thought, oh, okay, sure, I'll take a Pilates class. And I loved it. It helped me recover from running and all the injuries that I was getting. So, fast forward several years later, I developed a relationship with my Pilates instructor who did a teacher training. So I was able to go through her teacher training, get certified to teach Pilates, tried it out. I loved it. And then before I even got certified, I ended up opening a small studio. So, and then I grew it from there. So now I teach, locally. I help women and men and kids learn how to move their bodies safely and effectively with no impact, through the Pilates method. And then additionally, now I also help women who are recovering from surgery or therapy or treatments for breast cancer. So now I'm able to really help that very special segment of the population who needs help.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So like you're, in my opinion, probably the most educated Pilates instructor I know. And I love it because sometimes we think of success as like the degree, the job title, the career, the paycheck. And here you've been able to find success in serving others, helping others, and kind of just finding your passion and sharing that with others. So I love that. What advice do you have for people who are thinking about it? And then I also know that you're launching a program for online wellness too, so that if you don't live in your area, you can still connect with you and attach your brilliance. So yeah, want to tell us about sorry, to recap the question is tell us about your new program and then advice for people who might be thinking about switching careers.
Yeah, so I'm an online coach for people who are going through breast cancer recovery, who want to get stronger, learn about fitness and wellness, nutrition. So I have a free Facebook group called Strength, Nutrition, and Fitness for Breast Cancer Recovery. And then, so you can join that group, learn more about me, the program, but also, the advice that I would give to others who are contemplating starting a new business or going out on their own is really to think about what skill sets you have from your current or previous job and really try to create a career based on that skill set. What are you really good at? What do you excel at? And start small. So really, if you want to make a product, or if you're in a service-based business, start small. Don't spend a ton of money doing this. Just test out your theory. Start talking to people, get the word out that you're doing this, and get feedback, get testimonials, get ratings before you even start putting a lot of money into it. Because you can start, you don't have to have a fancy website or the latest and greatest equipment. You can start small and test out your business and see if it's even a viable business so that you can leave your 9 to 5.
I love that. Yeah. And I think building it in that pocket or building it wild, like we've talked about on other episodes too on the podcast, how, there's never more time. There's never a perfect time to launch a business. The best time is to take action today when you have that inkling and to do something each day to work towards it. Because when you are your own boss, guess what? There's other things that come your way, like illnesses or life that you have to react to too. So time is really the same for all of us. How we use our time is different. So I built my business on my coffee breaks, working a 9 to 5 job. And after the kids went to bed, everybody, you would have been working like 80 hours a week and starting, I think I'm going to take a Pilates class while I'm instructing people running. Like, I don't know how you did it. I don't think you didn't sleep, but and that's the thing, it's a choice, but it's a short-term sacrifice or short-term situation to then build that freedom or that flexibility and to have more time. It's like trading time in the younger years to have more in the older years. Really, I feel like we just have a choice how we spend our time and maximize it. So I love that, because that's a big thing of what I encourage people to do is write down or look on your phone today. How much time have you been on social media at the time that you're at right now listening to this episode? If it's a lot, you have time to build a business because you're probably consuming information versus putting yourself out there and offering your services instead. So I love that. And I just would love to clarify or ask the question that while your niche is helping people through Pilates that have recovered from breast surgery or breast cancer, would it be something that if you have not gone through breast cancer would still be something of service to somebody, or is it specifically only just for those people? Yeah. So locally we have, I have a Pilates studio where we help people with all kinds of issues. So I have, I recently helped someone who was training for a marathon
I helped her heal her body through that time so that she could be injury free throughout her run, and she, had a great race. We help people with all kinds of problems. Maybe they're recovering from surgery, they've had an injury, or they just want to get fit. So those are all different things that we help with kind of on a local basis with the studio, but then the coaching program is specifically for women who are recovering from breast cancer.
Good to know, just so that people are aware. Because I know it's like, oh, I just recovered from neck surgery, so maybe. But like it's just good to know because everybody has different scenarios, and I think we all do know somebody that has been impacted by breast cancer, and so it's just really great. And if you're listening to this episode, first of all, connect with Teri because it's always great to get to know other people, and you can see how beautiful she is by connecting with her on social. But also share her program because, going through such a traumatic experience of breast cancer and recovering from it, surgery is, such a journey. And let's share that message and share that resource to others because you just never know the impact that you'll have. And if you are listening to it, make sure to subscribe to the show and continue to hear more stories of moms that have transitioned over to entrepreneur. Teri, before we wrap up this episode, is there anything else you wanted to share with the people who are listening today?
Just think about the freedom that starting your own business would give you. It gives you the creativity to do things on your own, helps you be your own boss, but definitely, take the steps that it takes and do the hard work first of testing out your business model and writing things down, making sure that this is a viable business for you.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, and we'll talk to you soon, my friend.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Glad to be here.